Greetings and salutations, viewers. I'm StarPrincessHLC, and welcome to my first little Q&A session. Over the week and the weekend, I'd asked for some questions to do for a small little vlog for you guys, get to know me better. Small little thanks for the over 100 subscriber mark. So let's get this going. I have Rainy Mood playing on in the background. Just try to keep things nice and calm. Yeah, try and relax on this Monday day, if that makes any sense. So let us start here. I have the page open right now. Let's get going. First off, the first question right on the top is Bator plays, obviously Sawworm. And first, he does a nice little talk there. Congrats on your 100 subscribers. I'm very happy about it. And thank you very much for your shout out. Just subscribe to other two channels. You're doing an amazing job. Q&A sounds amazing. Let the questions flow. Well, thank you very much, Batar. And I'm glad that I got to get some other people that you got interested into subscribing. So thank you again. All right. First question is from me. Ironically, that is the top comment. Question is, do you plan on joining any YouTube network like Markiplier's Maker Studios? Ooh, good question. That's a really good question. Actually, that definitely has been a thought of mine for a while now. In fact, I actually had posted that question on the Let's Play Society Facebook page and on my Tumblr. I was questioning if I should, in fact, start trying to join with a multi-channel network and start monetizing my videos. And I definitely have been thinking, like, Maker Studios obviously is a pretty big one because it's, you know, Polaris is branched under that, and obviously a lot of big YouTubers are attached to that, not just Markiplier, but also PewDiePie, the Game Grumps, Total Biscuit. A lot of really well-known gamers and game-related channels are attached to Maker Studios, and that is definitely one I've thought of joining. The question, though, remains is, would I be able to join? Because, again, I'm a very small channel. I've only got up to, at this point in time, 107 subscribers. So thank you guys very much as I appreciate that. I don't know if a big multi-channel network would want me at this point in time, but I definitely am considering wanting to join one just simply as an extra protection against content ID, because the unfortunate thing about YouTube's algorithm is it's got a lot of problems with content ID problems. Like, I said this a few times on my Tumblr that with Toonstruck in particular, I had to butcher a lot of my audio because I kept getting matched third-party content IDs on those videos, and it's kind of annoying, but hopefully they fix that, especially since now they recently launched their YouTube gaming thing, which obviously is going to probably blow Twitch and Hitbox and such out of the water. But if they don't get their content ID problems fixed, because it really is broken. The content ID on YouTube is pretty broken, so they really do need to fix that. But, you know, I have really thought of wanting to join a multi-channel network. I just don't know if I'm in a good enough position to do that yet. But I definitely have been considering that. Okay, next post up here. It's not really a question, but it's a nice little message from Soulseeker D. Congrats, I am so happy for you. I love your videos and enjoy what you do. You are super sweet to me, dear. Thank you for the shout out. You're welcome, D. Keep being awesome. Alright, next one, we have another nice little shout out here by Peniton. Hi, I'm new and I just want to say I'm glad to be a part of this. Smiley face. Aw, thank you, Peniton. That's really sweet of you. Alright, next we have Kaylee Drivus. or Dravis. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. But she actually has about 4 questions, actually. First is, how did you come up with your username? And I guess this is connected with, what does the HLC means? HLC mean? Well, that is a really good question, actually. This is going to be a long-ass explanation, but originally, I was not going to pick the name StarPrincessHLC. In fact, my very first username I was going to have on my channel, on the internet in general, was Warrior Vega Love Star, which is actually still the name on my DeviantArt page. And mainly that name came from the fact that the big 2 things I used to watch a lot at a very young age, particularly teens, was I was really big into Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. So that was kind of like a little combination of what I liked. But after that, the Star Princess, somewhat embarrassing to say, is actually part of some fanfics I used to write when I was younger. I used to write a bunch of little fanfics. They're nowhere online. I never posted them on fanfiction.net or anything. But the character in my fanfics was essentially called Star Princess. And that's where I got that name, and that's the name I took on my very first website I ever became a forum member of. Ironically, the forum is no longer available, but embarrassingly enough, it was on Eddie Izzard's personal website. For those of you who don't know, Eddie Izzard is a British comedian. Most notable people know of him as his connection with Monty Python, and of course the fact that he's an open transvestite. That's where I first started the name Star Princess to go on the forums of his website, which back then was called the Blatherboard. But unfortunately, when that site disappeared, when he upgraded his site, the board disappeared. But it was through that where I got the name Star Princess. And then when a friend of mine on the forum invited me onto Twitter, was when I first joined Twitter, I was going to go with this name Star Princess, but that name had already been taken, and I didn't want to stick a bunch of random numbers on the end of my name, so I went with HLC, which in fact is my initials. My full actual name is Heather Lynn Callanan. So that's where the HLC comes from. Now, the second question from Kaylee is, which programs do you use to record your screen/edit? Well, originally, when I first started out with my videos, I originally used the trial version, the free downloaded version of Bandicam. And then I edited it in Windows Movie Maker and then transferred it over to Adobe Premiere 2.0 because at the time I couldn't afford any editing software and I didn't have a decent enough computer for a lot of stuff, and Bandicam worked well for me, but unfortunately I couldn't afford the full thing, and you can only record up to about 20 minutes with it and you get a watermark. So I would purposely have to edit the entire video in Windows Movie Maker, and then I would have to transfer it over to Adobe Premiere 2.0 or whatever it was to cut out the watermark, and unfortunately that would desync the audio and mess up the quality really badly. So eventually I stopped using Bandicam and I switched over to Hypercam 2. And that one really works well for me. I still use that for when I do reviews and such. But the problem with Hypercam is that I couldn't just put on headphones and play the game. I had to have my stereos open the whole time in order to hear the audio of the game as well as my voice. So that was a bit of a problem. And I still was using Windows Movie Maker up until May of this year when I bought Cyberlink Power Director 13 Deluxe, and that is what I've been using now for all of my editing purposes. And now, for all my recording purposes, I use Open Broadcaster's broadcasting software, OBS, which it's mainly known for its streaming purposes. It's usually used for streaming, but in this particular case, it's really good for recording, and now I almost exclusively use OBS for recording my games, and then use Hypercam to record gameplay for my reviews, because that way I can cut out the audio. So, there's those questions. And then last question from Kaylee is, how old are you? I am 27 years of age. I was born May 1st, 1988. So thank you for those questions, Kaylee. Alright, next one after that is Caffeinated NPC. This particular comment, I actually had the question off of Facebook instead because they are from the Let's Play Society and that's how I talk to them on Facebook. So the question that Caffeinated NPC has is, what is one thing you are looking forward to, YouTube-wise, in the next year? I.e. a certain series you want to start, convention, co-op, skit, etc. I'm not quite sure on that one. I guess I could say I'm excited for a bunch of games that I saw at E3 this year, like the remake of Doom, Fallout 4, The Last Guardian, Kingdom Hearts 3, the fact that they're remaking Final Fantasy 7, like all that looks really interesting. Certain series I want to start, I'm not quite sure yet. But I'd say those are probably the big ones I can say at the moment, is that there's a bunch of games I'm really looking forward to seeing in the coming years. Not sure if I'll be able to play them at that point, but you know, it looks exciting. I can't wait to see what else is coming along the horizon. That's mostly what I can say, but thank you, Caffeinated NPC, for that question. And then Edmundetti is also congratulated me on the 100. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Alright, next question is Kuna Kazai, or Kaze? I really do apologize if I am pronouncing your names wrong. But her question is, would you consider doing a collab/Let's Play series together with someone? I actually have been thinking of that for a while now. The thing is, I don't know a lot of people at the moment, and I know in particular I want to do a co-op with somebody on Corpse Party because I finally managed to get it running on an emulator, but I think I'm a little dull to some of the scares now. I kind of want somebody who's not used to the game yet to kind of balance out the fact that I'm not that scared of the game. Otherwise, I might do it single if I don't find someone, but I have definitely wanted to do collabs. The thing is, I don't have too many multiplayer games either. Like, the big ones I guess I could do at the moment are Diablo 3, Path of Exile,